Hey, hello, welcome to Grow Up on Purpose with Tamika Johnson. I'm going to do a short video. I know I said that last week, but I'm actually just going to do a short video before I actually do my interview with the Billy team. And it's basically this video today is I just want to encourage someone on today, because when I come on as a life coach, my job and my objective is to really help people to focus on um, the inner man, the best person that lives within you. You know, when you're striving to complete goals, you're striving to be the best person you can be. Oftentimes, we look outside of ourselves, but I want to encourage someone and to let someone know that, you know what? Everything you need to succeed is already in you. You are your biggest obstacle. You can be sometimes your biggest problem. If you don't see the best that's within you, sometimes you stifle your progress, you stifle um, um, yourself from reaching your goals. So I want you this is going to be a short video for real. I want to really encourage you to look within yourself and see the best version of yourself coming into fruition. Begin to believe in yourself like never before. There's a saying that I have for my class. Every year as a teacher, I have a theme that I want my students to live by. Last year, my theme for my English class was like stay positive. But this year, the theme, not only for my classroom, but for my life and for all of my clients that I coach, is there is power in what you believe about you. I'm going to say that again. There is power in what you believe about you. So know that sometimes we can be our biggest opponent. We can be our biggest barrier. We can be our biggest problem. But until you realize that there is power in what you believe about you, then you cannot be the best version of yourself unless you believe it first. I can tell you all day that you are great, you are wonderful, you are this, you are that. But until you believe it, nothing happens. And so I just want to encourage somebody to get about your business. You are great with what you do. The dreams that you have inside of you, the goals and everything that you have inside of you that you want to accomplish, you can do it. You have what it takes. You have what it takes. So um, all it takes is for you to actually do the work. If you want to write a book, begin to write it. It's not that difficult. When you realize that you have everything, it's a poem. It's called Equipment by Edgar Guest. And I actually did this poem. I actually read this poem in fourth and fifth grade, in front of the whole school. And it basically said, you have what it takes. You have everything. You were born with all the equipment that the greatest amongst you have had. They have started out with nothing more than you. But the only difference is, I said this in my video before, that the only difference between someone who we deem to fail and someone who has succeeded is the one who succeeded refused to give up. The one who succeeded kept their mind focused on the greatness that was inside of them. And does that mean that every day that we're going to feel optimistic every day? Trust me, when you are a creative person and you have a creative mind, you have doubts, you have frustrations, there's times you feel like giving up. Believe it or not, all the things that I've accomplished this year, sometimes I do have to go. Remember, I'm going to keep it real with you. I always say that my spirituality comes from my relationship with the Holy Spirit. And so when I have those days where I feel like I'm not doing enough, I'm not being enough, I'm not enough, I lean on the comfort of the Holy Spirit to listen. This Tupac, my ambitions as a writer. This is I'm listening to this instrumental, and I'm gonna keep listening to it. But anyways, when I have those days where I just feel like giving up, and I'm like, oh, it's profiting me nothing, and I'm doing all of this and I don't see the fruits of my labor. You know what? I lean on the Holy Spirit, which is the being that lives inside of me, that tells me, you know what? Keep doing, keep producing, you know, keep producing, keep doing anything that's inside of you, pull it out of you. Pull it out of you. Keep going. Keep striving. Sometimes we can hinder ourselves by doubting ourselves. So this video is basically to encourage somebody to start. You will never know what you can do or the magnitude in which you can do something unless you try. You try, get up and try, and do not be the one that hinders yourself, hinder your progress. Get up, network, partner with someone. You can't do everything alone, so partner with someone. Share your ideas. Begin to produce, do something. Don't sit around and just do nothing. If you want to go back to school, go fill out the application. You want to finish a degree, go finish that. Fill out the application. Do the first works. Do the first works. Talk is cheap. I say this all the time. When I tell people all the time, they say, well, I need your coaching services and things like this. You know what? Talk is cheap. I tell them, make an appointment with me. And then when you make an appointment with me, you have to have it in your heart. You have to be totally committed to growing up. You have to be totally committed to yourself. Because like I said, I can push you all day, but if you don't have that drive within you, then you won't profit anything. There's power in what you believe about you. There's power in what you say about you. So I want you guys to really just stop being the hindrance to your progress. Stop being the problem to your life. Stop being the problem of your situation. It's time for us to really grow up on purpose. And I know that's not a cliche just because it's the title of my new book, but for real, that really means something to me. It's time for us to grow up on purpose. It's time for us to start making decisions that benefits our lives, benefits the lives of our children, benefits the life of our family. It's time for us to stop. You know what? Paul said it like this. He said, when I was a child, I did childish things. But now that I'm an adult, he said, I move childish things aside. I might be paraphrasing, but he simply said, I made a decision. I made up in my mind that I was going to grow up on purpose. No matter the cost, we have to grow up on purpose. Let's stop talking about what we can't do and focus on what we can do. Guess what? You can do more than what you're saying that you can't do. I'm gonna say that again. You can do more than what you're saying that you can't do. You have what it takes. But guess what? Everything you need, guess what? It was put inside of you before you was even born. You have everything you need. All you need is the will and the drive. You know where that will and drive come from? Changing the way you think. That even may means you have to change the people who influence you. It may not even be people. It may just be your self-talk. Pay attention to the conversations. I'm going to end for real with this. Pay attention to the conversations that you are having with yourself about yourself. Pay attention to those conversations that you are having with yourself about yourself. There's no way that you can be the best version of yourself when you don't like yourself. Pay attention. You may not be the perfect person, but you are the perfect you that you can be. So what that means is, look, God created us to be who we are, but we can perfect who we are. What I mean perfect is become a better version of who we are. We will never be perfect people. Let me just lay that down right now. You will never be a perfect person. Keep your eyes off of everybody else because you don't know what everybody else is enduring. You don't know everybody else's struggle. You may look on social media and it may look like everybody got it going on, but guess what? You are not inside their homes. You are not inside their mind. You are not inside their situation. So do not judge your situation based upon somebody else. Do not be the barrier. Do not be the problem that hinders you from being the best version of yourself. Say to yourself, I have what it takes. If that means getting up in the morning, you start with, if that means getting up in the morning and you starting to write goals on a regular notebook paper, do so. But be about your business. Be about who God created you to be. No more, make up in your mind that I will no longer hinder myself from being the best version of myself. You sometimes can be the barrier. You sometimes can be the problem that stop you from being who you were created to be. So let's be who we are created to be. You know what I tell myself every week? I write a goal down. You know, we have short terms and long term goals, and then you have these really many goals. You know, short term goal can be like 3 months to 5 months, and then long term goals can be like a year to 5 years or whatever. But then you have these mini goals within um the week, and I always say to myself, there's one goal that I will accomplish within a week, and then I make it my goal to complete it. Now that one thing, it 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 benefits my long term goals. So if I complete this one goal, I ask myself, is the one goal that I set for this week, will it help me to get closer to my long term goal or my short term goal? For example, I have 2.5 more classes to complete to get my doctorate degree, right? And so I have 2 assignments that I needed to get done last week. Well, I said I was going to do over the weekend, but I didn't do it. So my goal this week is to complete those 2 assignments. And so then after I complete those 2 assignments, then I'll be 2 classes. There will be 2 classes left to complete my doctorate degree. So that one goal of completing those 2 assignments will move me closer to my long term goal, which is to get my doctorate degree, right? And so we ask, sometimes we make things bigger. We try to attack things in such a big way that it overwhelms us. And then, when you become overwhelmed, you become discouraged, you become, you walk in disparity sometimes. And so try to do it one step at a time. Set short, mini goals, and then short term goals and long term goals, and then work towards them. And you know what? Also, sometimes you ask people, "What are you doing?" Had one of the members of my church, he and I are members of the same church, and he said, he called me the other day, and he said, "Minister Tamika, I'm working on opening my own business." And I said, "What are you doing? Have you did anything? What have you worked towards?" And he said, "I haven't done nothing yet." But then he said, "You know what? He said, but I did get my vans ready, and I said, "You got your vans ready?" And he want to build he want to start his own transportation business. And he said, "Well, I got my vans fixed and things like that, but I really ain't did nothing for it." And I said, "Well, guess what? Getting your vans fixed or tuned up or ready, that's part of your goal to run a transportation service. You're getting your vans ready. So you did do something." And so sometimes we look at the big things that we think we need to do to say that we accomplished a goal. But guess what? Every goal starts with something little. It's a saying, it's a quote that it's a Chinese saying. A guy, he said something like, "Every mile begins with one step." I forgot his name, and I used to have it on my classroom, and it just, my mind just went. But every mile walk begins with one step. And so yeah, reach those goals, do what you need to do. Do not be the hindrance um to your own self. Don't allow your internal conflict, meaning your internal doubts. Don't doubt yourself. You have what it takes. You look at the great people and you say, "Man, they are so great." But guess what? They began with nothing, no more than what you began with. And that's, what I'm saying, you have 2 hands, 2 arms. That's what the poem says. You know what I'm saying? You have a brain to use. Thank God if you're able to, your brain is functioning well. And the only thing that's stopping you is straight up motivation. So motivate yourself. You know what? I do like David said sometimes. He said, "Sometimes I got to encourage myself in the Lord." Sometimes you got to encourage yourself. So let this word today encourage you. Begin to get connected with people that can help you reach your goals. You know what I'm saying? If you need insight from people, call on people. Don't try to do it by yourself, but know that you have what it takes. I want to thank you guys. I hear somebody coming, so I'm thinking my person is almost here. So let me get this video done. So I just want to thank you guys for tuning in to Grow Up on Purpose this week with Tamika. I told you it was short for real. It was like 15 minutes shorter. And I wanted to thank everybody who purchased Grow Up on Purpose as well as the journal. You can find it on Amazon, or you can inbox me for autographed copy of the journal. I have the journal somewhere. Let me get it, y'all. Oh yeah, I do. The journal's right here. So grow up in purpose. Grow up on purpose. The book and the journal. And don't forget the other book that I was a part of, The Protector, The Provider, My Husband, My King, I'll Wait. This actually was released this year too as well. It's from this book was written by me and 8 other influential women, 8 women who are empowered. I mean, these women got it going on. I mean, they open their own businesses. They have their own printing companies, book companies, restaurants, and like these women really have it going on. And guess what? You have what it takes as well. Like we started, listen. Only difference between guess what? We took a risk. Come on, somebody. I'm telling y'all, take a risk. You only got one life to live. You might as well see what you can do with it. You know what I'm saying? Don't sit by and say, oh my goodness, they doing this and that. Guess what? It's easier than what you think. If you put in the work, it becomes easier. Let me say that. Everything is not easy. Trust me. We have days where we feel like giving up too, but guess what? It's something that drive because you have to practice. You have to practice working hard. You have to practice motivating yourself. You have to practice encouraging yourself. You have to practice getting your mind right. You know what I'm saying? And so that's what I want to motivate somebody to do. Guess what? Grow up on purpose. Make up in your mind that you're going to get one goal done. Guess what? How many months we got left for 2020? October, November, December. Guess what? You still have a couple months in this year to get something done. You may not get the bulk of everything done, but get one thing done, one goal that you have been sitting on for a while and work on it and get it done. Guess what? Compartmentalize your time. Set aside time to do it. And so I want to thank you. For watching this video, Grow Up on Purpose with Tamika. Do me a favor, share the video, subscribe to my channel. I try to do videos every week. Subscribe to my channel. You can follow me on Facebook at Tamika Johnson, or my company, Grow Up Empowerment Life Coaching, LLC, or you can follow me on Instagram at tamika.johnson.10, or my business page at at Grow Up Empowerment. You can also visit my website at www.growupempowerment.com. And again, thank you for growing up on purpose with Tamika. Share, like, spread the word. I am taking new clients. I'm located in Germantown, Wisconsin, but I do take clients globally. I'm a minister as well, so I do speaking engagements, workshops. Just contact me and I could supply your coaching needs, your ministering needs, whatever. So thank you and God bless.